Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin shows a slight upward trend. The price has been fluctuating between the support price of $108,300 and the resistance price of $109,600. The RSI values have mostly stayed between 49.8 and 60.0, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening recently, suggesting increased volatility. The forecast for the next week predicts a continuation of the upward trend, with prices hovering around $109,200 to $110,300. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy focused on capitalizing on the upward momentum. Here's a portfolio strategy combining RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels. We will implement a strategy with an entry price of $109,200, a stop-loss price of $108,300, and a target price of $110,300. The entry will be triggered when the price is at the forecast price of $109,200. The stop-loss will be placed just below the support price of $108,300 to protect against a sudden downturn. The target price of $110,300 is based on the forecast and the upper end of the Bollinger Bands. This strategy aims to capture a portion of the predicted upward movement while mitigating risks with a well-defined stop-loss. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum shows a slight upward trend. The RSI fluctuating around 50 suggests a neutral to slightly bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands indicate periods of volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper and lower bands. Considering the support at $2,510 and the recent price action, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $2,540. The stop-loss will be set just below the support level at $2,490 to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price will be the recent resistance level at $2,570. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI drops below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we will consider entering a long position at the prevailing price, with a stop-loss at $2,490 and a target price of $2,570. Conversely, if the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, suggesting an overbought condition, we will avoid entering a new long position and wait for a pullback. If the price reaches $2,570, we will move the stop-loss to the entry price of $2,540 to secure profits. This dynamic approach combines trend analysis, RSI signals, and Bollinger Band volatility to maximize returns while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP shows a slight upward trend, consistently trading near the resistance level of $2.3. The RSI values fluctuate between 44.1 and 56.2, indicating periods of neither extreme oversold nor overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands suggest periods of volatility, with prices occasionally touching the upper band, but generally remaining within a relatively narrow range. Considering these factors, I propose a combined strategy leveraging RSI and Bollinger Bands to maximize potential returns. The strategy will involve a long position when the RSI falls below 40 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, aiming to capitalize on potential price rebounds. Specifically, I recommend entering a long position at $2.05 when the RSI dips below 40 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Set a stop-loss at $2.02 to limit potential losses. The initial target price is $2.23, aligning with the support level. If the price reaches $2.23, consider moving the stop-loss to the entry price of $2.05 to protect profits. A secondary target price is $2.3, the resistance level. If the price reaches $2.3, take partial profits and consider holding the remaining position with a trailing stop-loss to capture further potential upside. This combined approach, integrating RSI and Bollinger Bands, aims to balance risk and reward, capitalizing on short-term volatility while aligning with the overall upward trend. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB shows an overall upward trend, consistently testing the support price of $657 and approaching the resistance price of $686. The RSI fluctuates between 47 and 57, indicating periods of neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening slightly, suggesting increasing volatility. Considering these factors, a combined strategy is recommended. Initially, we will implement a long position with an entry price of $662. We will set a stop-loss order at $657 to mitigate potential downside risk. The initial target price will be $669, aligning with the forecast price and the upper Bollinger Band. To maximize returns and manage risk, we will incorporate a dynamic adjustment strategy. If the price reaches the target of $669, we will partially secure profits by selling 50% of the position. Subsequently, we will move the stop-loss to break-even, protecting the remaining investment. If the price continues to rise, we will reevaluate the strategy and potentially adjust the target price towards the resistance level of $686. Conversely, if the price declines and approaches the stop-loss of $657, we will exit the entire position to prevent further losses. This combined approach leverages both technical indicators and price action to optimize returns while effectively managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana exhibits a generally upward trend, consolidating between the support price of $146 and the resistance price of $152. The RSI fluctuates between 41 and 55, indicating neither extreme overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show that the price has been moving within the bands, with recent prices approaching the upper band. Considering this, I recommend a long position strategy. We will initiate a long position when the RSI drops below 40, targeting the resistance price of $152. For example, if the RSI falls to 39.5, we will enter at $147, set a stop-loss at $145, and aim for a target price of $152. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the lower band and the RSI is below 40, it signals a potential buying opportunity. The forecast for the next week predicts prices hovering around $152, suggesting a continuation of the upward trend. Therefore, we will maintain a long position as long as the price remains above the center of the Bollinger Bands. If the price breaks below $146, we will exit the position immediately to minimize potential losses. This combined RSI and Bollinger Band strategy aims to capitalize on short-term upward momentum while mitigating risk with well-defined stop-loss levels. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON shows a generally upward trend, consistently testing and briefly exceeding the resistance level of $0.287. The RSI consistently moved above 50, indicating a bullish momentum. The forecast for the next week suggests continued upward movement, potentially reaching $0.294. Considering the RSI and Bollinger Bands, I recommend a long position strategy. Specifically, enter a long position at $0.287. Place a stop-loss order at $0.28, just below the support level, to limit potential losses. Set a target price at $0.294, aligning with the forecast high for the week. To refine this strategy, we can incorporate Bollinger Bands. If the price touches the lower band, it signals a potential oversold condition, which could be an entry point. However, given the current upward trend, the primary strategy remains a long position at $0.287 with a stop-loss at $0.28 and a target price of $0.294. This approach balances the momentum of the upward trend with the risk management provided by the support level and the potential for further gains based on the forecast. This portfolio is the most efficient of the three strategies. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin has shown a recent sideways trend with fluctuating RSI values. The RSI has been oscillating around the 40 to 50 range, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing, suggesting decreasing volatility. Considering the support price of $0.169 and the forecast for the next week, a moderately bullish strategy is warranted. We will implement a combined strategy utilizing RSI and Bollinger Bands to maximize potential returns. Our strategy involves entering a long position when the RSI dips below 30 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Given the recent price of $0.164 and the forecast for July 7, 2025, we will enter a long position at $0.161. The stop loss will be set just below the support level at $0.158 to mitigate potential losses. Our initial target price will be the resistance level of $0.172, offering a reasonable profit margin. If the price breaks through the resistance, we will adjust the target price to the upper Bollinger Band, currently around $0.18. This combined approach leverages both momentum and volatility indicators for an efficient and potentially high-return investment. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano exhibits a downtrend, with the forecast prices consistently below $0.571. The RSI consistently remains below 50, indicating a bearish momentum. The price is currently near the support level of $0.554, and the Bollinger Bands are narrowing, suggesting decreasing volatility. Given these factors, I propose a short selling strategy. The entry price should be $0.571, placing a stop-loss order at $0.586, just above the recent high. The initial target price is $0.554, coinciding with the support level. To refine the strategy, we will incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Bands indicators. When the RSI reaches below 30, it signals an oversold condition, suggesting a potential bounce. However, given the overall bearish trend, we will prioritize the short selling strategy. If the price approaches the lower Bollinger Band of $0.537, it could indicate a potential rebound. In this case, we will adjust the target price to $0.557. This combined approach, prioritizing the short selling trend with RSI and Bollinger Bands adjustments, aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Sui shows a fluctuating trend with periods of consolidation around the support level of $2.9. The RSI values mostly stay between 37 and 53, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening and narrowing, suggesting increasing and decreasing volatility. The forecast for the next week indicates a slight upward trend, hovering around $2.86 to $2.81. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderate long position strategy with an entry price of $2.8, a stop-loss price of $2.67, and a target price of $3.03. This strategy aims to capitalize on the potential upward movement suggested by the forecast while protecting against downside risk by setting a stop-loss just below the recent support level. To refine this strategy, I will incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. When the price touches the bottom of the Bollinger Bands and the RSI is below 40, it signals a potential buying opportunity. Conversely, when the price touches the top of the Bollinger Bands and the RSI is above 60, it signals a potential selling opportunity. Combining these signals with the overall trend, I suggest entering a long position at $2.79, with a stop-loss at $2.6 and a target price of $2.91. This strategy leverages the predicted upward movement and incorporates technical indicators to optimize entry and exit points, maximizing potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin Cash shows an overall upward trend, bouncing between support at $483 and resistance at $511. The RSI fluctuates between 54.2 and 65.6, indicating periods of neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show the price recently moving towards the upper band, suggesting bullish momentum. Considering these factors, I propose a strategy focusing on short-term pullbacks to capitalize on the upward trend. We will use a combined RSI and Bollinger Bands approach. My strategy involves waiting for the price to approach the lower Bollinger Band, specifically around $483, which also aligns with the support level. This will be our entry price. A stop-loss will be placed slightly below the lower Bollinger Band at $479 to mitigate potential losses if the price reverses. The initial target price will be the resistance level at $511, aiming for a profit of $28. If the price breaks through the resistance and continues upward, we will adjust the target price to $520, securing an additional profit of $9. This combined strategy leverages both technical indicators to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Raydium has shown a fluctuating trend with support at $2.03 and resistance at $2.17. The RSI values have generally remained within the range of 38.4 to 50.0, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been contracting recently, suggesting a period of consolidation. Given the forecast prices, which initially dipped slightly before recovering, I propose a strategy focused on capitalizing on potential short-term pullbacks. We'll implement a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals. My recommendation is to enter a long position at $2.04. The stop loss should be set just below the support level at $1.99 to protect against unexpected declines. The initial target price will be at the resistance level of $2.17, aiming for a quick profit. If the price breaks through the resistance, we will move the stop loss to the entry price of $2.04 and extend the target price to $2.25, capitalizing on a potential breakout. This strategy aims to leverage the anticipated price recovery while mitigating risk with well-defined stop loss and target levels. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogwifhat shows a volatile trend with periods of consolidation and upward movement. The RSI fluctuates between 43 and 56, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening and contracting, reflecting increased and decreased volatility. The support price of 0.872 and the resistance of 1.03 provide key levels to watch. Considering the forecast for the next week, which predicts a slight downward trend initially, followed by potential stabilization around 0.81 to 0.84, a cautious yet opportunistic strategy is warranted. Therefore, I recommend a combined strategy leveraging RSI and Bollinger Bands. We will initiate a long position at $0.81 when the price touches the lower Bollinger Band and RSI falls below 30. Set a stop loss at $0.78, just below the support price, to limit potential losses. The initial target price is $0.87, aligning with the resistance level. If the price reaches $0.87, we will move the stop loss to $0.84. If the price continues to rise, we can set a second target price at $0.90. This strategy aims to capitalize on short-term dips while mitigating risk through strategic stop loss placements. Based on the historical data and forecast, Conflux shows a sideways trend with fluctuating prices. The RSI values generally hover between 40 and 55, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting decreasing volatility. The forecast for the next week predicts a slight downward pressure, with prices fluctuating around $0.072. Considering this, I propose a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Bands to capitalize on short-term price movements. My recommended strategy is to implement a short-term swing trading approach. We will initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 30 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Specifically, enter a long position at $0.0695, setting a stop loss at $0.0685 to limit potential losses. The target price will be $0.0742, aiming for a profit of $0.0047 per Conflux. If the RSI rises above 70 and the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, we will enter a short position at $0.0771, setting a stop loss at $0.0781. The target price for this short position will be $0.0722, aiming for a profit of $0.0049 per Conflux. This combined strategy aims to capture profits from both upward and downward movements within the sideways trend. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin has shown a recent sideways trend with fluctuating RSI values. The RSI has been oscillating around the 40 to 50 range, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing, suggesting decreasing volatility. Considering the support price of $0.169 and the forecast for the next week, a moderately bullish strategy is warranted. We will implement a combined strategy utilizing RSI and Bollinger Bands to maximize potential returns. Our strategy involves entering a long position when the RSI dips below 30 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Given the recent price of $0.164 and the forecast for July 7, 2025, we will enter a long position at $0.161. The stop loss will be set just below the support level at $0.158 to mitigate potential losses. Our initial target price will be the resistance level of $0.172, offering a reasonable profit margin. If the price breaks through the resistance, we will adjust the target price to the upper Bollinger Band, currently around $0.18. This combined approach leverages both momentum and volatility indicators for an efficient and potentially high-return investment. Based on the historical data and forecast, Aave shows a fluctuating trend with a recent upward bias. The RSI values have mostly remained between 47 and 58, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increasing volatility. The forecast for the next week predicts a price range between $280 and $284, indicating a potential continuation of the upward trend. Considering these factors, I propose a moderately bullish strategy. We will enter a long position when the RSI dips below 50, indicating a potential oversold condition. The entry price will be $280. A stop loss will be set at $276 to mitigate potential losses if the price reverses. The target price will be $284, aligning with the support level and a reasonable profit target given the current market conditions. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate Bollinger Bands analysis. If the price touches the lower band, it signals a potential buying opportunity. The strategy will be a long position with an entry price of $280. The stop loss will be set at $276, and the target price will be $284. The RSI indicator will serve as a confirmation. If the RSI is below 50 at the time of entry, it strengthens the bullish signal. This combined approach, leveraging both RSI and Bollinger Bands, aims to maximize profit potential while managing risk effectively. This portfolio offers a balance between capitalizing on potential upside and protecting against downside risks. Based on the historical data and forecast, Stellar shows a slight upward trend, with support at $0.225 and resistance at $0.252. The RSI fluctuates between 33.5 and 52.1, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting a period of consolidation before a potential breakout. Considering these factors, I propose a moderately bullish strategy focusing on short-term gains. My strategy involves a tiered approach. First, initiate a long position at $0.241, anticipating a move towards the resistance level of $0.252. Place a stop-loss order at $0.237 to limit potential losses. If the price reaches $0.251, take partial profits and move the stop-loss to $0.243 to protect the gains. If the price continues to rise and breaks through $0.252, set a final target price at $0.255. This strategy combines RSI signals, Bollinger Bands analysis, and support/resistance levels to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Eigencloud, Eigenlayer, shows a fluctuating trend with support at $1.06 and resistance around $1.18. The RSI fluctuates between 40 and 50, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting decreasing volatility. Considering the forecast for the next week, which predicts a downward trend with prices ranging from $1.11 to $1.02, I recommend a short position. The entry price for this short position will be $1.15. The stop loss will be set at $1.18, just above the resistance level, to limit potential losses if the price unexpectedly rises. The initial target price will be $1.04, aligning with the forecast low for the week. To refine this strategy, I will incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI reaches above 60, consider covering the short position and waiting for a potential pullback. If the price touches the bottom of the Bollinger Bands around $1.04, consider taking partial profits and moving the stop loss to the entry price of $1.15 to protect gains. If the price continues to fall, the final target price will be $1.02. This combined approach balances risk and reward, capitalizing on the predicted downward trend while incorporating technical indicators for dynamic adjustments. Based on the historical data and forecast, Celestia has shown volatility with a recent downward trend. The RSI consistently remains below 50, indicating a generally weak momentum. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased price fluctuations. Given the forecast prices for the next week are mostly below $1.5, I recommend a short position strategy. Entry price will be $1.62, placing the stop loss at $1.45 to mitigate potential losses if the price unexpectedly rises. The initial target price is $1.38, aiming to capitalize on the anticipated downward movement. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Bands. When the RSI dips below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we'll consider a short entry. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it could signal a potential rebound, prompting us to close the position or move the stop loss lower. If the price reaches $1.38, we'll take profits. If the RSI rises above 70, indicating an overbought condition, we'll consider exiting the position. This layered approach, combining trend analysis, RSI signals, and Bollinger Band observations, should optimize returns while managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, FLOKI shows a slightly upward trend with periods of volatility. The RSI fluctuates between 40 and 58, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions consistently. The Bollinger Bands have been widening and narrowing, suggesting periods of increased and decreased volatility. The support price remains steady at $0.0000826, while the resistance price is $0.0000903. Considering these factors, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will implement a combined strategy leveraging RSI and Bollinger Bands. The entry price will be $0.0000770 on July 7, 2025, when the price is near the lower Bollinger Band and the RSI is 42.1, indicating a potential bounce. The stop loss will be set at $0.0000826, just above the support level, to limit potential losses if the price declines. The first target price will be $0.0000796, aligning with the forecast price for July 13, 2025, and the upper Bollinger Band. If the price reaches this target, we will move the stop loss to the entry price, $0.0000770, to secure profits and protect against a potential reversal. A second target price will be $0.0000903, the resistance level, for maximum profit potential. This combined strategy balances risk and reward, capitalizing on anticipated upward momentum while protecting against downside risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Bonk demonstrates a clear uptrend with increasing momentum. The price has consistently moved above the support level of $2.05, and the RSI has been trending upwards, recently crossing above 50, indicating strengthening bullish sentiment. The forecast data projects further price increases, with values consistently above the recent historical close. Considering these factors, I propose a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.0000183, coinciding with the first forecast price. The stop loss will be set just below the support level at $0.0000198 to protect against a potential pullback. The initial target price will be $0.0000226, aligning with the highest forecast price. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate the Bollinger Bands. The price is currently near the middle band, suggesting a potential breakout. If the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Band, which is currently at $0.0000196, we will adjust the target price to $0.0000230. Conversely, if the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, which is at $0.0000103, the position will be closed. This combined strategy leverages both momentum and volatility indicators to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. The portfolio will be 70% long position and 30% cash.